Pipes rattle, walls settle. But what I heard was something else. 3 months ago, I moved into a small apartment at the edge of the city. The rent was unbelievably cheap. Too cheap. But I was broke, so I didn't ask questions. The building looked old and abandoned from the outside. Cracked paint, flickering hallway lights, and a strange smell in the air, like wet wood mixed with mold. When the landlord gave me the keys, he looked nervous, like he wanted to say something, but stopped himself. He just stared at me for a second and said, "If you hear noises at night, ignore them." I laughed. I thought he meant rats. But the first night, I realized he wasn't joking. At exactly 2:13 a.m., I woke up to a scratching sound. Scratch, scratch, scratch. At first it sounded faint, like nails dragging slowly across the wall beside my bed. I turned on my phone flashlight and checked the room. Nothing, the sound stopped, so I went back to sleep. But the next night, it came back, this time louder. Scratch, scratch, scratch. It sounded deliberate, almost like someone was trying to get my attention. I got annoyed and knocked on the wall. Knock, knock. The scratching stopped immediately. The room became completely silent. I remember sitting there in the dark waiting, and then suddenly, bang, something hit the wall from the inside so hard that my picture frame fell to the floor. My heart nearly stopped. I didn't sleep for the rest of the night. Over the next few days, things got worse. I started hearing footsteps above my ceiling at night. Slow footsteps. Heavy footsteps, back and forth, back and forth. But the strange part was the apartment above mine was supposed to be empty. I even asked the landlord about it. He avoided eye contact again and said, "Probably old pipes. Old pipes don't sound like footsteps." On the 5th night, I heard breathing. Not outside my room, inside the wall. Heavy breathing sound. I froze. I slowly walked toward the wall beside my bed. The breathing stopped. Then I heard a whisper, "Don't let him see you." I felt ice run through my body. The voice sounded weak. Terrified, I whispered back, "Who are you?" For a few seconds, nothing answered. Then the voice said something I'll never forget. "He lives above you." My stomach dropped. The upstairs apartment was empty. At least that's what I thought. The next morning, I decided to check for myself. I walked upstairs. The hallway lights flickered the entire way. When I reached the apartment door, it was slightly open. That made no sense. I pushed the door slowly. Creak. The apartment was completely dark. Dust covered the floor. No furniture. No signs of anyone living there. But in the middle of the room was a single wooden chair facing the floor, and scratched into the wood were the words, He hears through the walls. At that moment, I heard something move behind me. I turned around fast. Nothing, but I swear I heard breathing. I ran back downstairs. That night, I pushed my bed against the wall and stayed awake, holding a flashlight. 2:13 a.m. The scratching started again, but this time it was violent. SCRAAP. The wall beside my bed cracked. Drywall dust fell onto the floor. And then I heard someone whisper directly behind the wall. Please help me. I don't know why, but I started tearing pieces of the wall apart with my hands. The drywall broke open, and behind it was a narrow hidden space. My flashlight shook in my hand. There were empty water bottles, food wrappers, dirty blankets. Someone had been living inside my walls. Then my flashlight landed on something moving in the darkness. A man. He was crouching unnaturally low, staring directly at me. His skin looked pale gray. His eyes were wide open, and he was smiling. A horrible, impossible smile. For a second, neither of us moved. Then, suddenly, he started crawling toward me. Fast, way too fast. His bones cracked as he moved through the narrow space. I screamed and ran for the apartment door. I could hear him crawling inside the walls beside me. Thump, 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 he was following me. I reached the hallway, and then everything went silent, completely silent. I slowly turned. Around, the hallway was empty. No footsteps, no breathing, nothing. Then I felt warm breath near my ear, and a whisper. You weren't supposed to find me. I ran out of the building and called the police. They searched the apartment the next morning. They found the hidden passage inside the walls, but they found nobody there. One police officer looked disturbed while reading something on his phone. Then he asked me, "Did the landlord tell you what happened to the last tenant?" I said no. The officer stayed quiet for a moment. Then he said, "The previous tenant disappeared 3 months ago. Neighbors reported hearing scratching sounds inside the walls before he vanished. I moved out the same day, but sometimes, late at night, I still wake up at exactly 2:13 a.m. And from somewhere inside my new apartment, I hear scratching. Scratch, scratch, scratch. And last night, I heard a whisper. He followed you. If you enjoyed this horror story, subscribe to Echoes of Fear. And don't forget to turn off your lights before sleeping. And remember, sometimes the scariest things aren't outside your house. They're already inside.
If this story gave you chills, subscribe to Echoes of Fear.